Good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday. I believe it's Wednesday. That just shows you how busy I've been for the last a couple days, but I want to do these lives each and every day. At least that's my goal, is to make sure that I come live to you each and every day with something, whether it's a mini SaaS, whether it's some tips and tricks. So if you like these videos, make sure that you like, subscribe, and share all of these if you feel as if this is something that you needed to know. And today we're going to be talking about 5 things for time management as a small business owner. So make sure you guys give this a good thumbs up. Make sure you give it some hearts. If you are watching this over on the YouTube channel, make sure you're subscribing there because you know what? The viewership is important to me. So let's talk about some of the things that I do utilize in my shop, some things I need to be a little bit more intentional about, and we're going to do this together. So 5 things you need to know as a small business owner for your time management skills. 1, and the most important, prioritize your tasks. What does that mean? I want you to begin each day with identifying the importance of the task. So you've got these tasks. Which one has to have your highest priority, right? That's definitely something. What's going to take you a little bit more time to do? What is something that has to be done today or had to be done yesterday, but you pushed it off to today, right? You want to make a list in the priority of your stuff. Maybe you've got a project you're working on that doesn't need to be seen for or doesn't need to be completed for a week. You might put that on the low priority list if it doesn't mean that it's going to take you a lot to do it, right? Whereas if you have something that is due tomorrow or within the next 72 hours, you might want to put those tasks at the beginning of your list. So start each day with prioritizing your stuff. That is probably going to be the most key, except I do that at night before I go to bed. Every night before I go to bed, I write a list of the things that I'm supposed to do tomorrow. That's when I'm most fresh to remember, because I won't go to sleep if I think, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got to do this. Whereas if I do it right before I go to bed, I can then sleep like a baby. I'm not worrying about what is on tomorrow's plate because I already know. So that's 1. 2, time blocking. Well, what is exactly time blocking? Basically, and I wrote a list here. It's basically an allocated time of which you're going to do those tasks. As someone who runs multiple machines in her shop, I will look at it and say, okay, embroidery will be done in the morning. I'm going to pause for a video. Then I'm going to use the Roland. And because I'm using the Roland, I'm right there by the laser. I can be running the laser as well. I also know that sometimes I need to be running these machines all at once, but time blocking has definitely helped. 1, so that I can stay on task. This way I knew exactly what needed to be done. And when I'm doing the number 1 item of prioritizing, I'll say, okay, all these embroidery jobs will get done in the morning. I need to do these sticker jobs at, from dot to dot to dot to dot. And then I may be doing my laser stuff. You really just need to look at what you have in your wheelhouse and go, okay, this is what I need to do. This is how I need to do it. And then the more you write down, the more of a checklist you have, the more successful you're going to feel. How often do we write our checklist or we write our grocery store list, right? We're going to write that grocery store list so we don't forget what we need to do. The top 5 things are the things that we're out of typically, right? And then we go on with the things that we could have in our shop or in our basket, if you will, if we're going grocery shopping, right? That's how you write your grocery list. And you actually write it without subconsciously knowing you're doing it. These are the things you're out of. These are the things we need to get because we're low on. These are the things that I wish I had. These are things to complete a dinner, right? You're going to do the same idea when it comes to your business. You're doing the prioritizing of what is needed. Now, you can delegate your responsibilities. I've talked about this in a couple other past sessions here. What I have said is, you know what? There are things that I don't enjoy doing. It's okay to outsource those items. Outsourcing doesn't mean you're a failure as a business owner. It just means you don't want to be putting your efforts to something that you just don't find joy in, right? So you take those off your plate because you're going to drag your feet when you do that. When we do the things that we don't want to do, that really just bore us to death, bring us no joy, we drag our feet on it. So we don't want to drag our feet any further. What we're going to do is we're going to take that and go, okay, who could I outsource this to? Maybe it's someone who actually enjoys doing it. Who could I hire to come in and do? For me, I don't like weeding. I don't like weeding traditional HTV, to be very honest with you. Whereas my Eco Solvent HTV weeds so much better than traditional HTV for me. So I had the project this past Christmas I dreaded doing. So I outsourced it. I let somebody else who wanted to make the money do the thing. And that was definitely a priority right there. Next, set your boundaries. This is where I struggle. As a small business owner, I struggle terribly with boundaries. You know that. I know that. Let's just call it what it is. All right. Setting clear boundaries of your work hours and your personal time. This includes avoiding the temptation to check your emails or your work late into the evening, and setting boundaries and contributions to better work-life balance prevents burnout. For somebody who checks her social media frequently, or checks my emails or my text messages frequently, I do now take the time at dinner time. I know that sounds crazy. You're like, well, no. But yes, for someone who is constantly checking her social medias or checking her phone, I put my phone down at dinner time. That is my time to not have to worry about who's messaging me. And if I'm just sitting down for dinner, I will tell people I'm just getting down to eat. Now, I've had some people go, "Oh, well, I kind of needed it. Yep, you can wait until I'm done." Your emergency is not my emergency. I am eating dinner. I'm setting a boundary. Bam, right? I've had people set boundaries with me. And you know what? I have to respect those boundaries. I might not like it. Trust me. I may not like it when you set a boundary with me. But again, I need to set those boundaries with you as well. And that is, dinner time's important to me. I also don't bring you into the bathroom. Sorry, that's a boundary. Just need you to know. That's my personal time. I know a lot of people do it. I am not one of those people. Okay. I do not bring my phone into the bathroom, and I don't want it at the dinner table. So after dinner is done, I may look at my phone, but during dinner, it's time for conversation with my husband, talking about his day, talking about my day, talking about the dogs, whatever we want to do with the house. It doesn't matter, but it's not necessarily me worrying about what somebody else's work life is going through. So these are just some of the things that I've had to learn to do. I'm still learning, right? And so can you. What are your boundaries? I would like to know in the comment section what your boundaries are. What are your biggest icks? Basically, you're like, what is an ick, Nikki? What are your biggest icks when it comes to um, being a small business owner? Like you will not answer if you are ... right? So let me know in the comment section right now if what is your biggest hangup? What is your boundary that you're like, nope, I'm not doing the whole work thing. This is where I draw the line right there. Let me know in the comment section. I would love to hear what you guys have to say is your biggest ick when it comes to setting those boundaries. Lastly, reflect and plan. I do this every day, and sometimes I am doing it multiple times during the day, right? So at the end of each day, I take a few minutes to look at the things that I've accomplished. I don't dwell on the things that I didn't. All right. Will I look at it as not a failure? Correct. I'm not going to look at it as a failure. What I'm going to look at it as, you know what? How could I have done this differently? Did I not prioritize myself correctly? Did I let myself slip out of the time blocks that I set for myself? How can I do the things that I still need to do and keep myself on task? Each day is a great reflection. It's a learning opportunity about yourself. It's a learning experience into how you can make your workflow a little bit better, a little bit more meaningful, if you will, right? You want to have purposeful things or purposeful time for your day, right? And I'm wording that completely wrong, but you know what I mean. You want to basically say, this is what I'm doing for the day. You want to make sure you're putting all that time and effort into the things that you're supposed to be putting your time and effort for, instead of scrolling on your Facebook or your TikTok or your Instagram or wherever it is you decide to escape to. Let me go further back in this. You also need to, in that time block, schedule yourself lunch and dinner. Did you notice I missed breakfast? I'm not a breakfast person, so I don't do the whole breakfast thing. But I make sure that I take time and I'm taking time with you guys right now for my lunch break. This is my lunch break right now. I give myself an hour, right? I earn that hour. I earn that hour to come live with you guys. I will earn that hour to eat my lunch, snuggle with my puppies, whatever it may be, right? I take an hour out every day. Somewhere between 11 and 1, I'm taking out an hour so that I can do what I need to do, and that is stop work, walk out of my shop, go sit in my living room, stand looking, eating my lunch out the back door as I look at my backyard thinking, spring needs to happen soon. Please. It is very yucky out in my yard. Those kind of things, right? That might be a great time for me to do some research that I've been wanting to do for here for the house. Whatever it may be, make sure you take that time out each day for your lunch break. All right. And give yourself an hour. I know what you're saying, Nikki. I can only give myself a half hour. No, that's the goal, is to work yourself to an hour. Sounds like it's a big task, but literally blocking out your day, you do not need to be a slave to your job. All right. Even though as small business owners, you're like, yay, I get to be a small business owner and I can be my own boss. And that's fantastic, right? That is a beautiful opportunity. But what they don't tell you in small business school is that you're going to run yourself into the ground and you're going to work about 100 hours in a week. You're going to give up all your free personal time, and you're not going to know the difference of what a real life is and a work life is. You're going to meld the two so much that they seem seamless, right? And that is absolutely a reason for that, right? Because we're small business owners. There's only one of us. Whereas when we're working for the man, no, we work on their dime, right? There's a bunch of people working on their dime. You are working on your own. So again, let's go back to the top. Make sure you follow and like and comment in this video if you find any of this helpful to you. First, prioritize. We're going to go over this list again. Prioritize your tasks each day, whether it's right before you go to bed so you can clear the slate of what you need to do tomorrow, or you do it first thing when you get up, or the first time you hit your shop. What is your priority? Like I said, I like to do mine at night. It makes for me to be able to sleep, and then I know waking up what I need to do. I will also, in that prioritizing of my list, set myself up. Like I will physically set the things up that need to happen. So for an example, I was running a fundraiser. I put all my apparel stuff out with the order, with the screen print transfers. I had everything stacked. And I mean, it was a stack of shirts on my desk. And that was what I worked on. I knew exactly what needed to be done. I knew the task at hand, and I kept going. And then that was something that was more purposeful because I put that energy towards there. There was a purpose. There was a reason. I wasn't just kind of mulling around my shop, right? So I prioritized the night before everything that I needed to do the next day. I will also do time blocking of when I'm going to do certain tasks, because let's just be honest, I may have all the toys. I don't enjoy running them all at the same time, but there are times that I have to. But if I do time blocking, which is something I do in my shop, is I will run my embroidery jobs in the morning. I may run my laser jobs in the afternoon. I just look and see what's going to take me the most effort. And for my embroidery jobs, maybe I'm doing beanie caps. Well, I need to be sitting at that machine because it's a 3-minute sew out, right? So I can't be really doing anything else when I'm doing that. So that is a morning task. I'll get that all done, and then I'll move on to something that does require my full attention. Like my laser, I need to be near the laser when it is cutting. So while that's cutting, I may be working on sublimation orders. I may be having the roll-in going, whatever it may be. I may be even making videos at that point. So I am multitasking when I'm doing the laser, but I need to be near it just in case, because we never leave the room with the laser on. Then you have the roll-in. The roll-in just kind of does its own thing. Again, I just look and see what's on the plate and what I need to do. My 2024 goal was to get better at my time management and my processing times and all of that. In order to do that, I had to prioritize and do time blocking. And so far, it's working for me, unless I procrastinate. But that's a lie for another rainy day. So there is that. Next, so we have prioritizing our tasks. We have our time blocking. We talked about delegating responsibilities. Farm out the things you don't want to do. It's okay to do that because I don't enjoy doing everything in my business. While I might have gotten into it, doesn't mean I enjoy it. So find the tasks that you just don't enjoy. Maybe it's working with back office type of stuff. Maybe you need to hire somebody to come into your back office and help you with stuff. Maybe you need to have somebody come into your shop and help you with stuff. What can you farm out? Again, delegate your responsibilities. You can go in for further in depth into this video when you go back through and watch the rewind. If you're watching for the first time, write hashtag sassy subber. We know how this goes for all of that in the comment section. Next two, set boundaries and reflect and plan. So set your boundaries. What are your biggest icks? What are things that you will just not give up? The non-negotiables, right? You will not get on your social media during dinner time. You won't when you're spending time with your kiddos, whatever it may be. What is your biggest non-negotiable when it comes to your business? What is your boundaries, right? That's what I want to know. In the comment section, make sure you put that, because you know what? We do need to balance our work life and our personal life. And there's sometimes where you just got to say, no, not doing this. This is how I need to do it. And again, people have set boundaries with me and I've had to respect those boundaries. I might not always like it because it's not in my time frame. So that also plays a part in it. As small business owners, we don't need to be accessible 24/7, 365 days of the year. We just don't need to be, right? You're not, for when it comes to your work life, if you worked for corporate America, you don't need to as a small business owner. As a small business owner, you are also allowed to have sick days and vacation time and tell the world about it that you're going on sick days or you have vacation time. Why? So people leave you the hell alone. End of story, right? That's a boundary. I'm going on vacation. Leave me alone. Don't talk to me about work. Let me be. Why? Because corporate America doesn't bother you while you're on vacation. Either should the small business owner. Lastly, reflect and plan. Spend each day reflecting on the day that you had. Did you get all your tasks done? If not, then those are your top priorities for the next day. Those move up to the top of the list because you did not get to them. If you didn't finish your list, are you a failure? Absolutely not. You are not a failure that you did not finish your list, right? It just means you either A, need to check your time management, B, maybe it was just not something that was overly important, right? Prioritizing your list, which was number one, helps you with your going into your reflection plan at the end of the day. And then you can plan how you're going to do your day tomorrow. You see why I do my plan and my prioritizing list at the end of the day? Because that's my time to reflect on the day that I had and plan for the day ahead and how I want to do it. That's why I do it at night. So there are the 5 things that you need to know when it comes to time management. Now, there are different things that you can implement in your business. Words are hard again today. Implement into your business. Whether you do it is completely up to you. By liking, sharing, and following this video, you're going to see more content this week when it comes to all the things. Now, I am about to go live over on my TikTok channel, or actually do a video for my TikTok channel. And so, Ken, words are hard, so that I can help you with those 5 things with the extended content of 5 more things that you can add to your business life. Until next time, I'll see you guys real soon on the flip side.